Hey clowns, welcome to Crimenelia Street. I'm Sam.
And I'm Tori, and we are gathered here today on a Love Island night, which is kind of wild for us.
And I have some catching up to do.
Oh, whew. You missed the one episode, right?
Well, because we kind of watched Friday night's episode, but we were like kind of talking, and
Yeah.
I did see a couple people kissing who I was like, oh, okay. But I didn't see last night's episode. And then, so yeah, that's what I'll be doing tonight. It's just like a marathon. So,
Well, last night was just after sun, anyways.
oh,
So it's not like anything. But yeah, Friday wasn't super eventful, so which
okay,
was
cool.
relieving. Honestly, I felt like we needed a more relaxing episode.
Yeah, it's been drama central, super messy. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's such a strange season.
It is, and I can't tell like if I'm here for it or not. Like part of me is like, man, I'm really sucked in, but am I so sucked in because everyone I know is actually watching it now too? So like I have people to talk with about it, and that started once once Ariana came on. I feel like everyone, was back into it again. So it's like, am I into it because of that, or am I crazy and I just love the toxic chaos of it all? I don't know.
Yeah, same. I mean, there is definitely drama going on. I think it is kind of the toxicity. I'm just like, oh, this is like a train wreck where you just like have to watch. Like,
Yeah.
ugh.
Yeah.
But I love Amaya. Yeah, we've been blessed with Amaya this season, so that's good.
Amaya Papaya, our queen. Yep. Oh, that should have been my name tonight. Ah,
Dang it.
missed opportunity.
I know. Was thinking about my name too. I listened to Cowboy Like Me today, so that's why my name is that. And yours is Swamp Princess.
Yes. Do you know what that's from?
No.
It's Dochi said it when I don't know if she said it another time, but when she accepted the award, shoot, I forget which award show it was. It was definitely not the AMAs because no one was there.
That was embarrassing.
It was so weird. It was so weird. They're probably not doing it anymore.
Right. Like it's canceled after this.
Yeah, because this was their first time back in like 2 years. Like they hadn't done it the last 2 years.
Oh.
And then they were like,
no.
let's try to do it again. That was a flop.
It's like someone got fired.
But it was the one where I think she got album of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And she like did that.
Was it the iHeartRadio maybe? No. But Taylor was there, right?
Yes.
Or was she not there?
I think it was when she showed up in the red dress, wasn't it?
Was it the Grammys?
Maybe.
For like best female rap artist category, I think she won.
You know what? I'm going to get to the bottom of this because now.
Let's figure this out.
Best female hip hop at the BET Awards?
No, it was definitely like a different one. Yeah. And she was like, shout out to the Tampa community. There's so many great music there. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. And she said, I'm a swamp princess. I'm from Florida. Grammy. It was Grammy.
Okay. I love that.
Best rap album, Grammy.
We probably are definitely 6 degrees of separation from her somehow living in Tampa,
Did I tell you that my coworker went to school with her? Like they were there at the same time.
There we go. We pretty much friends.
One of my interns too. So.
Whoa.
So we're besties.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Basically.
Swamp princesses all around.
Yes. That's fun.
So what's been up with you?
Moving. Yeah. Trying to be as organized as possible with that. And it's like, we're not really bringing a lot of our furniture. So I'm having to use like Facebook Marketplace and stuff for the first time. Like I've never sold stuff on there before. So
have you
had
any weird experiences with that?
Well, not yet. I haven't actually put anything up there yet. The intention is there.
We're in the working ourselves up to it part.
Yes,
okay. No, yes. I understand all too well.
But I have heard some pretty interesting stories come out of Facebook Marketplace. So
it's almost as good as the Tinder stories.
Oh, that's great. Well, maybe, hopefully, I'll have some to report back. Nothing like weird, but maybe something funny. So yeah, we'll see.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, but not too weird.
Not too weird, just humorous, please.
Yes.
But how about you? How is life? Finn's birthday party was recently.
Yeah, my little toddler turned 2. It was a super nice day. I get like so stressed out like hosting anything, so I kept it super small, just family and then like people I've known so long that they pretty much are family. Like
Right,
double
right.
digits. But yeah, that was really nice. And I've just been like really big on like a work-life balance thing lately, and I'm kind of like fine-tuning it, and it's just it feels good to finally be feeling like I'm getting that down. Like getting to spend
Nice.
enough time with my kid. I'm probably still not drinking enough water. But
Hey, yeah, it's a give and take.
But yeah, I feel like I'm getting like more quality time with my kid when I'm still like putting in as much time as I should be at work and like getting the lawn mowed and all that. This is also coming off a 3-day
Nice.
weekend, so I might be feeling a little more optimistic than usual.
Right. Well, hey, that's awesome. That's just a good feeling, I'm sure, to feel like
Yeah.
you're like, okay, I got this. Like,
Yeah, been
I'm
exercising a
doing
lot
it.
too.
Nice. Yeah, running outside like a mad woman.
And with a toddler and a stroller and 2 dogs, one of which is
Oh
a
my
puppy.
gosh. Which is also probably a workout in and of itself, keeping up with the puppy.
Yes, yes. My neighbors look at me and like they can't even wave. They're just like trying to put it all together in their
For
head.
like,
I
yeah,
feel like all of them are thinking, "Oh, she's got her hands full."
right. Well, that is awesome. That is dedication right there for sure.
Okay, should we talk about the sad stuff?
Yep, let's do this.
Okay. Uh, this one is pretty tragic, I will say, and it's kind of gruesome. So just
Okay.
trigger warning of like kind of violence.
And things.
I
Yep.
don't get super like into the details, but it's just like brutal.
Hmm.
Most of the events that we're going to talk about today took place from 2014 until present day. There's some before that, like some of the backstory and stuff, but just to like give it a time setting. It's going to be about Russell and Shirley Dermond and their tragic deaths. Russell and Shirley Dermond lived in a small town of Eaton, which is southeast of Atlanta, Georgia, in Putnam County. They resided in a gated residential community called Great Waters Reynolds at Lake Oconee. The neighborhood was affluent, and most of the residents were retirees. The gated community boasted many amenities, which included an 18-hole golf course, tennis courts, multiple clubhouses, hiking trails, swimming pools, and fitness centers. So the community had it all. It was a nice community. We see a lot of these in Florida as well, around like the area that we grew up in. On top of that, it was considered a very safe neighborhood. Previous to the events that we're talking about, the neighborhood had a crime rate of 0. There had never even been a burglary reported, nothing.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Within their gated community, their 3,000 square foot house at 147 Carolyn Drive sat on a cul-de-sac that was surrounded by thick strands of trees on the shore of Lake Oconee with the dock on the lake out back. And Russell and Shirley did not actually own a boat, but they were able to just go out there and relax and like enjoy the scenery. And you can see a photo of this, photo 1. I'm going Bud Light Lime
Ooh,
tonight.
nice.
I'm usually not a Bud Light girly, or any of the water beers, but if you throw some lime in it, I'm
Hey.
sold.
Oh, lime will do the trick for me with that too, for
Hmm.
sure.
And they're a BOGO,
Um,
so.
hey. Yeah. I really love sour beers.
Oh,
They're
girl,
they're like
we are gonna go to
fermented and
some
stuff.
breweries. Yes,
Yay!
when you get here. Yeah, there's a lot of them
Nice.
that have
That's
like really good
cool.
sours. Yeah.
I know they're like polarizing. I can see why someone wouldn't like them, but I love them.
I'm weird. I don't like a sour sour.
Hmm.
And I always tell the bartender, I want like a not super sour sour, please.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Do you like the really sour ones?
Yeah, I
Okay.
do.
Those are
Um,
You said polarizing. I'm like, she must mean the actual sour ones.
Yeah, I'm like, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm glad you know some cool spots. Like, yeah, you said house and dock, right? Is that
Yeah,
what you said?
it'll
Hmm.
say photo one.
Yep, I see it right here. Cool. I mean, well, it's a very nice house.
Isn't it? Yeah. It's picturesque. Like, can you just
Hmm.
sitting on that dock in the morning drinking a coffee?
Uh, bliss for
Uh,
sure. Or when it's like raining. Oh my God.
uh, that'll be
Love
so
that.
nice.
Hmm.
So, Russell served in the US Navy and he was a World War II veteran. Him and Shirley were both New Jersey natives, and on December 15th, 1950, they got married. And you can see their wedding photo in which is number 2.
Aw, yeah.
Sometime after getting married, they moved to Georgia. Both Russell and Shirley were very religious and loved by their friends and family. They were very family focused as well. They ended up having 4 children, 3 sons, and 1 daughter, and eventually 9 grandchildren. Shirley was a stay at home mom, and Russell owned 16 Hardee's franchises in Atlanta. He got into the fast food industry because he wanted to have something to leave behind for his kids. In their spare time, Russell enjoyed golfing, reading, and walking. Shirley enjoyed writing, creating art, gardening, and she really loved playing bridge and the crossword puzzles. Although they were well off financially, they were described to be modest and humble people and were said not to be flashy with their money. Their community was tight-knit and everyone knew their neighbors. It was the kind of community where someone would notice if there was a car parked on the street that didn't belong to their neighbors. By all accounts, it seems Russell and Shirley led very happy, healthy, and honest lives. So on May 1st, 2014, Russell ran some errands. He went to the bank at 2:15 p.m. to transfer some money for an insurance payment, which just sounds so like old school, like
Right.
transfer going to the bank to transfer money for a payment, man. Um,
Yep.
he went by Publix, so it's cute. Pub
Hmm.
subs for a
Yep.
prescription and got some groceries. Russell was later seen on the surveillance video at the Publix, so it is confirmed that it was him. And unfortunately, this ends up being the last known sighting of Russell, the last known confirmed sighting. When he got home, he called his youngest son to chat for a bit. There's an unconfirmed sighting of a neighbor saying that he saw Russell walking on the golf course on May 2nd, which would be the next day. And then also on May 2nd, around 4:30 p.m., their mail was delivered but not picked up out of their mailbox. So on May 3rd, the Dermonds were supposed to attend a Kentucky Derby party. So this is 2 days later after he ran his errands and went to the bank and stuff. They're supposed to attend a Kentucky Derby party at a neighbor's home, but they never showed up or called to say that they wouldn't be attending, which was very out of character for the Dermonds, to the point where their friends were almost instantly concerned. Tuesday, May 6th rolls around, and none of the friends had heard from the Dermonds still yet, which again, very out of character. So the hostess of the party sent some mutual friends to bring roses from the party to the Dermonds, and this was around 10 a.m. on May 6th. So Margaret Petty and her husband Huel arrived at the home. They noticed some newspapers outside that had not been picked up in the driveway, and the neighbors knocked but got no response. They turned the doorknob and the door was unlocked, so they entered and called for Russell and Shirley. There was also no sign of forced entry, but Russell and Shirley were not found inside the home. Huel went outside and walked around the garage that was closed. He peered inside one of the windows and saw a body. So he yelled to Margaret, who called 911. There was no sign of Shirley. Putnam County Sheriff Howard Sills and his team arrived on scene soon after the 911 call was made. When the officers opened the garage door, they saw Russell Dermond's body lying there on the floor between their 2 cars. Russell's body was there, but his head was not, and he had been decapitated.
Oh,
Yeah.
yikes. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Right.
Ugh.
It's like never expecting that, even like researching true crime, like you don't come across that.
Right, right. That's just so, yeah.
It's
Oof.
gruesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Russell's body was already showing signs of decomposition and was laying on top of his robe, and his stomach was exposed a little as his t-shirt was lifted, showing his blood-soaked boxers. His slippers were also tossed to the side, so it seemed like he hadn't even really gotten dressed that morning, and he was still wearing his PJs because he's got his slippers, a t-shirt, boxers, and he's like on top of his robe. His body is. He was 88 at the time of his death. Blood and bodily fluids were pulled at the top of his body, indicating his attacker had thought this through and wanted to make sure it would take some time before anyone discovered his body. There were also towels lined up along the garage floor to block any blood that was coming from his neck from seeping out the door. Behind one of the cars on the garage floor, there was a blood spot where it appeared something round had been placed there. Russell's feet were bare and splotched with blood stains. There was a smear of blood left from his feet dragging from the garage door to where his body was. His hands were bruised and bloody, and his left finger had a gash in it. There were strands of blonde hair intertwined in his fingers, and these strands were later determined to be Shirley's hair. So it's an indication that he put up a fight to defend his wife. Lack of blood spatter led investigators to determine that Russell's body had been placed here intentionally post-mortem and that the decapitation was not the cause of the death. When officers investigated the rest of the home, it was very clean. There was a prescription that was picked up from Publix sitting on the counter and a crossword puzzle that was incomplete on the kitchen table with a pencil on top.
Oh, gosh. It's like details like that just get you.
They do.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I know. I read that part and I was like, no, not the crossword puzzle. She loved her crossword puzzles. Ugh.
Meh.
Yeah. The bed was unmade, which is another indication that, I mean, I never make my bed, but I guess some people do, but
Right.
that they had, recently woken up. There was also cash and jewelry out in plain view in the home. It seemed as if the couple had been interrupted immediately after being woken up. Police found no signs of a struggle or forced entry into the home besides one crooked lampshade in the living room. And they said that the lampshade did stand out because everything else in the house was like pristine. And Shirley was known to keep like a very clean house as well. So it's not like that was like uncommon for her.
Mm-hmm.
Police did collect forensic DNA from the home, hair, tissue samples, and fingerprints. Russell's head and Shirley Dermond were not found in the home. The Dermonds did not have any security cameras, and neither did their neighbors. The community did, but they had been down since the recent storm, and it wasn't until police asked for the security footage that the community realized that their cameras weren't working, which it seems like that's always the case.
Right. Conveniently.
Right. And this, like...
Yeah.
I don't even think is like, yeah, usually I'm like, well, they're behind it.
Right.
And
They
in this
must
case,
be.
yeah.
Yeah.
In this case, I don't think that, it's part of a conspiracy or anything, but it's just like, of course.
Yeah, just a bad coincidence for sure.
Yeah. The community did have a guardhouse, and the guards had to get confirmation from the residents before allowing visitors into the community, but that rule did not apply to commercial vehicles or companies with decals on their cars. Those vehicles could enter freely, and the license plates were not documented, which I wonder if they changed that after this.
Yeah.
It should also be noted that there's nothing preventing the perpetrators from entering from the lake because the Dermonds did not own a boat, so their dock would have been open for, any boat docking there. A search for Shirley Dermond was initiated immediately by Putnam County. With Shirley missing, it wasn't known if she had left and was involved in the murder, if she had been abducted, or if she was taken somewhere and being held hostage, or if she had been harmed as well. So there's just a lot of questions at the time about her disappearance. Billboards were put up with Shirley's face, and her photo was being shared by media outlets. FBI and law enforcement agencies also joined the investigation. Lake Oconee was searched with sonar equipment and drag hooks, and cadaver dogs searched nearby woods, but unfortunately no evidence or Shirley were found. On May 8th, an autopsy was conducted on Russell's body. His body was positively ID'd by his fingerprints from his time in the Navy. The decapitation cut was a single clean cut, indicating whoever decapitated Russell knew what they were doing. It was also found that there was gunshot residue on his shirt collar and no gunshots were found on his body. So it's determined that he was shot in the head.
Oh,
because they don't have the head.
that makes sense. Okay.
I saw the
Ugh.
look of confusion there for a
I was like,
second.
yeah, was he like, did he die of like internal bleeding in there? Yeah, but no, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. There is one theory that suggests the perpetrator took Russell's head to prevent the investigators from matching the bullet to the weapon.
Mm-hmm.
It's a length though, but we'll get more into that. But it
For
just
sure,
seems
for
like
sure.
quite a length to take.
Mm-hmm.
Due to the head not being available to examine, the cause of death was determined to be cranial cerebral trauma from the cut that transected the cervical vertical body, and the manner of death was homicide. So pretty much they're saying, because they don't have the head to see, they're saying that the cut was what killed
Mm-hmm.
him, but they really think that he was shot in the head. Based on the evidence at the scene, they're pretty sure that the cut happened after, which we might be getting into. I might be jumping ahead here. Pretty much based on the scene, they're sure that the cut happened post-mortem. So he was
Mm-hmm.
already dead when the cut happened. Did I say that already?
I think you mentioned it in the when we were talking about the garage, how the garage was laid
Okay.
out.
Yeah, I feel like I've
Yeah.
read these notes so many times that I'm like,
Yeah. It was
I
just like
don't
a
know.
quick little thing. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So May 16th, two 50 to 60-year-olds were out fishing on Lake Oconee and came across Shirley's body floating on the lake amongst some floating timber. This was around 2:30 in the afternoon, 10 days after Russell's body was found. This was May 16. She was found floating in the water face down. When police pulled her body out of the water, they saw that there were two 30-pound cinder blocks tied to her ankles in a mesh bag and over her white socks with the parachute cord in an effort to weigh her down. Shirley was wearing a t-shirt, pants, socks, and sneakers. So to me, it seems like she was a little more dressed than
Mm-hmm.
Russell was.
Maybe she went out for a walk or something.
Or they like made her get dressed. I don't know.
True. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
She was found 5 to 6 miles from the Dermond's home. She was positively ID'd with dental records. Her autopsy results showed that her skull was fractured, which caused hemorrhaging in her brain. Injuries were made with a circular weapon, such as a hammer. She was struck twice, and the cause of death was blunt impact injury of the head. The manner of death was homicide and assault by others. It was determined that she passed before being put into the lake. Police searched the lake for Russell's head, but it was not found. But also worth noting that there's a lot of debris in the lake, and it would be super difficult to find
Mm-hmm.
something the size of a head in the lake. So,
Yeah.
because of the cinder blocks, it was thought that Shirley was not meant to have been found, unlike Russell. It's just interesting that, like, Shirley obviously was not meant to be found, and then Russell was, like, left in such, like, a specific manner
Mm-hmm.
where he most certainly would be found. It's just like,
Yeah.
what is the motive there?
Right. That's odd for sure.
Yeah. So the perpetrators obviously had access to a boat because of the way Shirley's body was found. And the access to a boat can back the theory that maybe they did dock at the house with the initial attack. It's thought they most likely moved Shirley's body across the water at night because it would have been really difficult to do that during the day without being noticed by other people. So I guess this lake is probably pretty frequently used. And
Mm-hmm.
generally lakes are, you can see, they're pretty open. You can see across them,
Right. Right.
depending on how big they are. But this led Sheriff Sills to come to the conclusion that whoever the perps or the perpetrator or perpetrators were, they knew where they were going on the lake, even in the dark. And it doesn't necessarily mean that they had to be locals, but they were probably really familiar with the lake, which means
Mm-hmm.
they've probably spent some time there. They could not have attacked Shirley in the home as there was no blood evidence there. Robbery was ruled out as nothing was stolen from the house and there was cash and jewelry in plain sight that wasn't taken. Investigators couldn't find anyone in the friends or family who disliked the Dermonds. The children were investigated as well and all had solid alibis. They all also took polygraph tests and passed. Neighbors saw no strange vehicles at the time of the murders, and it would have been pretty noticeable if there were vehicles parked on the road because they lived on the cul-de-sac. So I mean, first of all, this is a neighborhood that like tends to notice that kind of stuff, but like even in some of my friends' neighborhoods, I notice if someone's like parked in the cul-de-sac where,
Right.
it's not the cars I'm used to seeing. Investigators surmised that the attacker or attackers could have arrived to the Dermonds from the private boat dock. The couple didn't seem to owe money to anyone, and there didn't seem to be any nefarious business deals that the couple were involved with. No motive could be found. They just seemed to be like really great people, and everyone loved them.
Yeah.
Oh, and Shirley was 87 at the time of her death as well. I meant to mention her age. So they were 88 and 87. But yeah, it's just like...
so strange. It's like mind-boggling. Like, what is the reason?
And intense, too, for like people who are so dearly loved by everyone. Since there was no blood found in or around the home, it's thought that Russell was murdered outside of the home and then brought back into the garage in the home where the decapitation took place, which is like interesting to me too, because like what, 2 days passed? Murdered outside where? Like on the lawn? Like wouldn't you still see wouldn't there be evidence? Or I don't I don't know how this stuff works.
Right. Yeah.
I guess, I don't know. Maybe in the boat, and then there would be less because you would need the boat.
True.
I don't know. Police believe Shirley and Russell Dermond to have been attacked sometime between 4:30 p.m. May 2nd when the mail was delivered and 4 p.m. May 3rd when the Kentucky Derby party began. Which I think that that's an interesting time frame because I would also think... So the mail wasn't picked up 4:30 p.m. But couldn't they have been murdered that morning?
True.
And unless
and he was in his pajamas, right?
Right. So I'm thinking, I mean, it could have been May 3rd morning. Maybe they checked their mail in the morning and not at night. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure police have a good reason for picking those times. Here I am trying to like poke holes in their theories. Sheriff Sills also believes there was more than one perpetrator because of Shirley's body being placed in the lake so far from the home and the difficulty of decapitation. It's not impossible for one person, but it seems unlikely. Police conducted over 200 interviews, and all we know from the interviews is that someone was seen at the Dermonds' property by a neighbor potentially around the time that the attack happened. Police also interviewed all the children. They learned from the children that the couple was very strict about keeping their doors locked and also had a security system that wasn't armed at the time of the attack. No weapons that may have been used in the attacks were ever found.
Wow.
It's just like, that's a few weapons too, because there's the gash on his finger, so, something sharp. The hammer for Shirley, whatever, the gun, and then also whatever was used to do a very clean decapitation cut.
For sure. And didn't she say there was like a circular mark? There was like blood that was like in a circle kind of. I don't know what that would be for, but just weird.
I have no idea. I almost picture like
maybe a
pickle bucket sitting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that's from. Maybe like a murder bucket, like Israel Keys. He had the murder buckets. Maybe they had other tools in there.
I still think about that one.
Yeah, that one.
The picture
sits with me.
And the couple in that house.
It's just like the randomness of it too, just like fucks me up.
For sure.
Like, how do you avoid that?
And then I'm sure it's like, I don't know the actual statistic or if it is even real, but it's like you've probably met or like walked past a serial killer like once or twice in your lifetime or whatever like that. It's like, oh God, not me.
I hate it. Yeah. I'll take the stat where I'm eating bugs in my sleep. I like that one
Right.
over the serial killer one.
For sure. Please.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like not a good feeling.
mm-mm. No. So some theories. Obviously, there's a theory that it could have been a robbery gone wrong, thinking they had cash on hand or in a safe, but that doesn't seem to hold up because there was cash that just straight up wasn't taken. Elderly in that area do get targeted a lot due to them keeping cash on hand and not in a bank. But again, this neighborhood had a zero crime rate and it was
Right.
gated. It doesn't seem like the easiest target. Like that, none of that tracks for me because there was valuables there. Like maybe they saw it after they killed the couple, but it just doesn't seem like it lines up with everything that happened. Like taking Shirley out of the house and
Going through all that
the
like work.
the decapitation. Yeah, like it. I don't know. It just feels more personal than that.
Right. God.
Another theory, involvement by a New Jersey mob because they were both from New Jersey, but I don't think there's much like anything to back that up. It's just like a
Right.
theory people are throwing out there.
It's like, was Hardy's like a front? Um,
Right. But I think police looked into that and like he wasn't
mm-hmm.
in any nefarious business deals that they could find at least.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a theory that Shirley was originally taken as ransom, but something went wrong. That sounds maybe a little more plausible to me. It's strange that Shirley, if she was taken for ransom, there was not a ransom note left or ever put forward. Usually it'd be either an assassination or a ransom. If it were an assassination, why take Shirley at
Mm-hmm.
all? And
Right.
if Shirley may have been taken for some reason that never came to fruition. So maybe they were planning on taking her for ransom and then something happened or they were like, this is going to be too hot, and like abandoned the plan. But even that's still, why kill, if you're taking her for ransom, why kill Russell?
Right. And that way, like,
True. Yeah.
why not just shoot him? Well, I guess because of the bullet thing, but gosh, it's just, I'm sure the neighbors after this were like, oh my God. Like, imagine how scared you would be.
Yeah.
Like, thinking you
For
were so
sure.
safe.
And not having heard anything or known something was going on.
Yeah.
Another theory is a drug dealer seeking revenge. So the Dermonds had a son, Mark, who had a criminal record and was arrested in the 1980s. He was actually killed in the year 2000 during a drug deal. He was attempting to purchase crack cocaine. It was his 47th birthday. Mark's drug past was investigated for any connection to his parents' murder, and nothing was found. Mark also wasn't super close to either parent either, so
Mm-hmm.
that one seems pretty unlikely as well. And his killer was convicted and is in prison now.
Right, right. And all those years later, like,
Right, 14 years later. Yeah. Those poor siblings.
oh my gosh. It's a shame to like, I mean, it would suck for that to happen to anybody, obviously. But it's like you have this whole kind of picture perfect life and you're just trying to enjoy your retirement or your old age
I
and just to
know.
like, for it to end this way is just so sad.
And just to be like such like it didn't seem like there was any bad karma out there for them, you know?
Right.
Like to have
Just like
lived your
no
life in
rhyme.
such a good way.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly a family member is another theory. All these avenues were investigated by police. No leads came from it.
Mm.
The couple seemed to be happy in their marriage, and there were no signs of physical or mental illnesses. Authorities went through phone records and conducted hundreds of interviews, and everyone's been cleared. It's thought the perpetrator potentially decapitated Russell to avoid the bullet being traced back to them. However, it's unlikely that the bullet would be able to be traced back to a specific weapon. It's a lot of trouble to go through. And then you have this person's head, too. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like traveling anywhere with the head is a huge risk as well. Like, that potentially more of a risk than the
Mm-hmm.
bullet being found.
Yeah.
It just seems like a lot though to go through. And like you're leaving with someone's entire head, like the most identifying piece that's Yeah, that seems like quite the
Hmm.
risk as well. The lack of evidence that a tool from the home was used to behead Russell indicates potential premeditation as well, especially due to how clean the cut was.
It would have to be something super sharp, you know.
Yeah, and like they brought it planning to do that.
Right. Ugh.
Right.
There's just like no rhyme or reason to any of this.
It's
Like,
so
oh my
fucked up.
goodness. Yeah.
It seems unnecessary, especially if there was more than one perp to use a gun at all or take the head, considering Russell and Shirley's age. Why would the perp use a noisy weapon on the elderly couple, especially if they had a sharp weapon that Russell got that gash from? Why
Hmm.
not use that to kill Russell and then not risk there being a bullet, not taking the head because there is no bullet? Because again, taking the head is a huge risk too. So it's just like, it's like, were they trying to send a message?
Hmm.
And I don't think
Yeah.
anyone picked up on it.
Right. Like we're all confused here,
Right.
buddy.
To me, it doesn't make any other sense than they were trying to send a message. But
Hmm.
for what, for why?
Yeah.
These sweet
Just,
old people.
I know. And there's like, I'm guessing no other like deaths similar to this in the area or,
Not that I found in my research, so nothing that's been connected.
yeah.
Sheriff Sills doesn't believe it's a traveling serial killer either because it doesn't seem to be the type of community that someone would target for a random crime. So the case has gone cold. One witness has come forward in 2015. Someone reported to police that he saw a man on the Dermond's lawn around the time of the murders. The person that reported that info was investigated, and it was found that some of his answers to police were inconsistent with what police know to be true. So nothing ever came of that witness sighting. In May 2021, Howard Sills announced an update to the case stating that he was working on additional DNA with the FBI, and due to advancement in technology, the data may lead to a suspect or suspects. So that's exciting. This
Yeah.
is the closest to a lead the investigation's ever had. In May 2023, Sheriff Sills confirmed evidence has been taken to a lab in Houston, and they're now waiting for the FBI to examine it. In April of 2024, it was determined that there was DNA present on Russell's shirt that did not belong to him or Shirley, and more testing was being done on whose DNA that is. FBI Special Agent Andy Smith has been working on the case for 9 years, and he also believes that it was more than one perpetrator. Smith mentioned in an interview with Channel 2's investigative reporter Mark Winnie in May 2024 that they've developed other leads due to advances in technology apart from the DNA that no one's aware of yet. Also exciting.
Hmm.
And he mentioned that cell phone data has been a part of recent investigations, and Smith says they've gotten significant leads from seeing which devices were in the area at the time of the murders and after, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. That's awesome. I wonder if
And
it
I
was
don't,
like a cell phone trying to connect to the Wi-Fi, you know how it like will automatically try sometimes, like,
oh,
or
true,
maybe a
yeah,
cell phone that's been connected to the Wi-Fi before. I don't know.
maybe. I think usually it's the cell phones like changing the towers they're bouncing off of
Oh,
too.
like pinging and stuff. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. And I don't think people were that aware of it back in 2014 of that being a
Mm-hmm.
thing. I don't know. I wouldn't have been, but I also wasn't like into true crime back then.
Right,
Um,
right.
so that's really cool that they are able to like get that data still too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The DNA samples went to a lab in Utah and a lab in Texas, both of which found the DNA did not belong to the Dermonds. Smith stated that the original DNA testing for the Dermonds case was done at Quantico. Virginia FBI labs are now working on the rest of the DNA because of what they specialize in. Smith says in May 2024 that the labs were working on finding enough DNA to try and find a matching CODIS. Do you know what CODIS is?
I feel like I should.
No,
From
you're good.
biology.
Oh no, it's actually like more of a crime thing. It's like a
Oh.
database that police I don't know if it's just police, but it's like that criminal like DNA is
Oh
put into.
yeah. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think now aren't they working with like Ancestry,
Yes.
and Me and all that stuff, which is like crazy. It's like it's good, but
So
it's also
cool.
kind of like I mean, it's obviously being used for good purposes, but I wonder if people knew when they were doing all this DNA stuff. Like in the fine print, it was probably there. They weren't probably aware that it would be
Right. And I wonder how they feel when they get like, their cousin locked up or something. But also it's like, well, they should be.
right. So it's,
Because the kind of stuff that they're like matching to this is usually like,
awful stuff.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're trying to find a match in CODIS or genealogical match. And depending on the answer from that, they'll determine if they'll be able to move forward with current technology or wait for technology that should be available in a couple of years. So there's hope.
Right. I'm so glad they're still putting this effort into it as well. That's really cool. So hopefully we get an answer.
In the same interview, Smith was quoted saying, "We do have leads. We are looking for you, and we're not going to stop until we get you."
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are continuing to follow up on new leads that are coming in. He thinks that perpetrators who commit crimes like this are likely to talk, and he's adamant that someone out there knows something about what happened. There is currently a $20,000 award from the FBI for anyone who has information who did kill or who was involved in the murders of Russell and Shirley Dermond. Anyone with information should call the Putnam County Sheriff's Office at 706-485-8557 or leave a tip via the website at putnamcountysheriff.com or call the FBI's Atlanta field office at 770-216-3000. And then if you pull up photo number 3, that is Russell and Shirley in their older age.
Aw, they look so sweet.
I know.
Oh my
Brad Dermond.
gosh.
Uh, just every photo I saw of them, I'm like, it looks like all the descriptions of them. Like,
Yeah. Ugh,
just
that
the
sucks.
sweetest. Brad Dermond, the Dermond's youngest son, believes that the hair found in his father's wound indicates his last act of heroism, and Brad hopes to get closure someday.
Aw, I hope so. Wow.
It's
That is so crazy. I'm just looking at some other pictures of them.
all wholesome.
Dang. Yeah, I hate that.
I know.
It's just it just seems so random, like no rhyme or reason to it. It's just like if they were just trying to like get some money or rob the couple, they didn't have to do all of that. Like it just seems like so much work. It just seems like I don't know, dude. That's just wild. It's mind-boggling to me.
It seems so random at the same time as being like so not random.
Right,
Like,
like calculated.
yeah. Yeah.
Except for
I
Shirley
don't,
being found, I guess. That probably,
right. Yeah, that
yeah.
probably wasn't part of the plan. Yeah, a lot of people also, I guess I didn't mention this theory of like it was a professional like hitman was a common theory as well, which I think
Hmm.
because the decapitation being so clean, I don't know. You would think there'd have to be like police would be able to find
Or like a
something that would
similar
lead.
case or something. Like,
Right, or like a reason that people would be upset with them, like they owe someone money, and like none of that was yeah, able to be
yeah,
found. So I'm with
yeah,
you. I'm mind boggled.
yeah, for sure. Hopefully we hear something with all the technologies and stuff. So,
Yeah.
yeah, but very interesting though. Interesting and sad.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Happy stuff.
we,
There's not much in the Taylor world.
I don't think so. I've seen some people saying that something's going to happen in September, but with like a new album or something. But
Mm.
I really haven't like looked into those theories.
We've gotten a lot of Taylor Travis sighting, which have been
Mm-hmm.
cute.
Yep, I saw this quote from him. He was like, people say like whenever they get papped or whatever, he was like, people say that we're doing this for attention, but like we're really just trying to like live. Like we have to like
Yeah.
go out. And he's like, I'm enjoying her, getting her into different sports and stuff. So But yeah, that's really all I know.
Yeah, it's been Love Island for me. That's been the obsession.
Yeah, Love Island. And I
Yeah.
think, does Big Brother start tonight too?
Oh, 10th, I
Eh,
think.
the 10th. Okay, so this week. I love the house. The house looks
It looks
amazing.
so cool.
Yeah. I feel like they've done a similar style these past few years. Like it's just always been, I mean, it would make sense because it's the summertime, but it's like summer camp themed and then summer festival themed and all that. So to
Mm.
have like kind of a different theme with like the murder mystery and that I like. So yeah.
Yeah, it just looks aesthetically pleasing. I'm excited. Okay.
Yeah. It'll be good. It'll be good. That's it for today's episode of Crimenelia Street. You can follow us on Instagram at Crimenelia Street or on TikTok at Crimenelia ST Podcast. Or if you have any feedback or ideas for future episodes, you can send us an email at crimeneliast@gmail.com. Bye, clowns.
I'd like to specify it only if it's positive feedback to you. Otherwise, we
Yeah,
don't need it.
we just don't care. Yep.
Bye, clowns.